It is Sunday, January 19th. My name is Liam McMahon. You are in the weekend webinar sponsored by GlobalFxClub. Thank you very much for joining me. Going to run through, as we usually do, the majors, some of the crosses, some commodities, maybe some stocks. Talk about what we can expect for this week. We have a holiday in the United States on Monday. It is Martin Luther King Day. So things may be a little bit slow tonight, although we do have Chinese GDP data due out tonight, which should goose the markets a little bit. And then in terms of this week, very little U.S. data, quite a bit of foreign data, though, of significance. Foreign for me, global data. New Zealand has some stuff going on. The U.K. has employment. The Euro has the German Constitutional Court decision on open market transactions, which could be very interesting. I have to do a lot more reading on that before I'm ready to talk about it. But that's generally Germany deciding whether or not the ECB has been violating European Union law with some of their programs that they put into place after the financial crisis. So that could be very interesting as well. So there is some stuff to look forward to this week, but it may take until after Monday before we see things pick up. But, we'll see. All right, so make sure that you've read over the risk disclaimer, which should be on your screen. And if you're watching the recording, please pause the recording and read this disclaimer. Then we are going to go to the charts, and we're going to talk about basically everything that I can think of and anything you guys want to talk about. If you guys have questions, by all means, please feel free to put those requests in the chat box, and we'll go from there. All right, so let's get started with everyone's favorite pair. I haven't actually really gotten that much of a chance to see. I don't think there are any major gaps, but we'll see if we'll come across them and we'll find them. All right, so we're going to start with Euro-Dollar. This is the 4-hour chart of Euro-Dollar. Unless I specify otherwise, all charts are 4-hour charts. What we have here is the Euro sold off. All right, on Friday, we broke this first tight trend line, and we sold off pretty well. All right, this candle here, last 4-hour candle on Friday, pretty good, strong red candle, grab some stops. But we are hitting some support now, all right, just ahead of 135. We're at 135.30 right now. We do have some RSI divergence, all right, and we are testing a fairly significant support zone. I would expect a bounce here, all right. The question is whether or not that bounce can get back above 136. If it can't, look for the sell-off to continue, all right, and this to start to roll a little bit lower. If we do manage to get back above 136, all right, this descending trend line is the next major resistance, and a break of about 137.65 or so. That will really seem to open up quite a bit of upside, all right, at least back up to this 139 spike high we had here on not Christmas Eve, the 27th of December. So those are the levels to watch. If you see it manage to break down below 135, all right, the Euro for me becomes an unequivocal short. I would rather short it closer to 136, but I'm actually probably not going to touch the Euro, at least not against the dollar this week very much. I think it's a little choppy. It's definitely not my favorite. Check out the pound. Okay, we saw the pound streak higher on Friday after much stronger than expected retail sales. All right, I think it was like 0.6% expected, and we saw 2.2%. All right, so a pretty solid beat. Broke higher, broke back above. All right, this long-standing trend line here. This dates back towards to July 9th. All right, we kind of meandered below it, and then we spiked back above it. So I'm not really going to get that excited about that break. This potential head and shoulders pattern I have drawn out here really is actually still valid. We just haven't broken the neckline yet. All right, so there's your new neckline. I'm going to delete this trend line for now and delete this one. All right, so that's the neckline. So below 163. The major problem I have with that is that 162, okay, is a pretty solid support region. You can see we tested this area once, this trend line once, twice, thrice, 4 times. All right, so this would be a 5th test. Well-worn trend line. Very good support there, that 162 figure. So not overly keen on getting short the pound now after this spike. It does look like it may head up towards that 166 region again. I would probably be willing to take a stab at buying a dip down to about 163.40 or so if we got it. But again, the pound also not on my top, not on the top of my list for pairs to trade this week. At least not against the dollar. Okay, Aussie. We saw Aussie make a new low on Friday. I still have orders floating around this 88.50 region to get short. If we do manage to see a push higher, since we made that new low, I'm somewhat less confident that we'll see that, but we may see it tonight. All right, if we get stronger than expected Chinese growth, if we see the Aussie manage to catch a bid, that 88.50 figure, this bottom of this flag type pattern here, could provide a pretty nice opportunity to get into some shorts. On the weekly chart, all right, that's a very ugly weekly candle, and we did manage to get below here and close below these previous lows dating back to August. All right, so whatever double bottom possibility we were trying to build did not really work out. We do still have some weekly RSI divergence, okay, here on Aussie dollar, but the strength of this candle is going to limit my Aussie buying for quite some time. So I am still looking to short Aussie dollar, but on a rally, I'm not chasing it down here. You can see that we're over. All right, we're oversold, so we'll see how that plays out. Kiwi dollar, we got a rally. We're gonna break. I don't really know what to tell you about Kiwi right now. It's definitely not my favorite. This 82.10 level, all right, it's pretty decent support. So basically, just called 82. But up until then, even then, I probably don't really want to buy it. We're gonna go to a daily chart real quick. Okay, you can see after this breakout, it's just been choppy. All right, lots of moving average support down here. All right, between 81.95 and about 82.50 or so. So we could see some bounces here in Kiwi, but after that candle on Friday, I'm less keen to really try to do much with it. It looks like it's going to chop for a little bit, and really I need to see more time. I need to see what it's going to do. All right, I need to see if it's going to establish some sort of right shoulder over here, if we're going to try to get back above this 83.13 area. So Kiwi is going to be one I'll periodically check in on, but I don't see any great trading setups on it right now. All right, dollar CAD. Obviously, rally continuing pretty aggressively here. You could try, if you really, for some reason, we're determined to short dollar CAD, you could try it on a break of this trend line. Not keen on that. This is absolutely another one that I think needs time to figure out what it's doing. All right, we've started to become fairly divergent here on the RSI. I'm not going to sell this pair. I might sell some of the other CAD crosses. We'll get to that in a second. I'm not going to sell dollar CAD, but I'll keep an eye on it. If for some reason we see a sell-off down to like 108 at some point this week, next week, or the week after, I would look to buy it. Up until that point, though, I'm not really keen on doing anything with dollar CAD, other than keeping an eye on it for the other CAD crosses. So Kiwi CAD, all right, we saw a nice sell-off here as Kiwi fell lower. If we see some sort of flag up or something from here, I would consider trying to sell Kiwi CAD on a further breakdown. All right, I wonder. Be very interested to see some Elliott wave counts on this. It looks fairly clean off of this rally, which is not super common for Kiwi CAD. So that's definitely one to keep an eye on right now, sitting just above this 50-period EMA here on the 4-hour chart, right around 90.30 or so. If we see it hold up there and then break below, I might try to take a short as well if we see the Kiwi continue to break down. Aussie CAD, all right, kind of a bear flag possibility going on here. All right, so I'm definitely keeping my eye on that for an opportunity to get short the Aussie. The major level, the only thing I will buy the Aussie against is the CAD, and I'm only going to do it at around 94.85 or so when we retest this, if and when we retest this broken trend line. So that's what I'm keeping an eye on. That's still 115 or 130 pips away. If not more, so I'm definitely not in a rush to do that. I actually would be willing to short down into that level before flipping. All right, so keep your eye on Aussie CAD. If we build up this potential flag here a little bit more, it may be a very nice short on a break. Let's flip to the yen crosses. Dollar yen. Go back to my trend lines. Okay, dollar yen, there's your descending trend line. Get rid of this as well. All right, there's your descending trend line. We're below, again, you can see this ascending trend line here. I don't really know. It's a little bit of a tricky area here. On dollar yen, there's your support level right around 103.30 or so. Your resistance is about 104.56. I don't have a particularly strong opinion on the direction, all right, of dollar yen right now. We may see it do, all right, the opposite of what we saw here. You can see this build of a left shoulder. Now we may see a build of a right shoulder before a breakdown. All right, so lots of chop up and down, but a generally down sloping trend. I think that's absolutely something to keep an eye out for on dollar yen. If we look at the Nikkei futures, all right, they're fairly similar. They're at support right now. The major levels here on Nikkei is basically 16,000 and 15.5 thousand. That's the range to watch. A break below, look to buy the yen, short yen pairs. Break above, look to sell the yen, buy yen pairs. All right, so watch out. Watch the Nikkei for clues as to the yen. The rest of the yen pairs, Aussie yen, all right, broke down. 91 is your first support level. Not keen on buying it there at all, but that is a pretty decent support level. Rallies up towards about 93 or so should provide selling opportunities. Kiwi yen is one of my favorites. Okay, we are seeing a wedge breakdown here on Kiwi yen. This 100 period EMA you can see once, twice, thrice, 4, 5 times before we finally got a break. We're below that. We're below the wedge. This 85.53 area is the 200 period EMA. That is the first major support level. A break below there really starts to open it up for a move even as down as low as 82 or 81. All right, so Kiwi yen, one of my favorite yen pair shorts. I think it's absolutely worth a look. Keep it on your radar. If we move back within above like 86.76 or so and get back within this wedge, that would invalidate. But up until that point, I think shorts look very nice. CAD yen, all right, very nice breakdown here on CAD yen. May provide a pretty decent short opportunity here early in the week. Okay, broke this trend line after this major sell-off. We rallied a little bit, dead cat bounce style, and now it looks like we may be looking to head lower. Euro yen, this head and shoulders, okay, we had a false break once. It's a very, very, very obvious head and shoulders. Those tend not to work as well. Oops. All right, but you can see it, I guess, you just have to kind of contend with this false break as part of the neckline. Look to maybe see a breakdown from here. I don't really know where your entry would be. Maybe you could try it back up here at 141.60 if we bounce, and then watch out for 140.50, which is where we bounced of the last time, all right, on this breakdown. Pound yen, another one that I think looks like it's trying to set up for lower, but I don't really see a great setup on it right now. We broke below this ascending trend line. You could try to do it on a retest at about 173, all right? Or you could try to do it on a break below 169.50, which is this 200 period EMA, this trend line. So you could try something like this, all right? Right now, no, I don't think that's super clear. And like I said, I'm not super keen on shorting the pound against the dollar, so I'm not really super keen on shorting against the yen either. Prefer Kiwi yen, prefer CAD yen. All right, so watch out for those ones. Some of you, for some reason, like Swiss franc yen. I hate it. But you can see, like euro dollar, kind of a weird, funky head and shoulders type pattern. So there is, of course, some pretty significant downside potential on this one. Your support level is 113.93. Your resistance level is about 115.94. So watch that 200 pip range. Dollar Swiss, I like to the upside. All right. After we broke this trend line, I was hoping to retest down here. We fell just short, and now we're back here above. All right, mate, trying to make new highs. I like dollar Swiss to the upside. I think run up towards about 92.45 is a significant possibility. Support is 90.40, and then 89.85, and then 89.40. All right, so basically here, and then here are your support levels. We finally, all right, it looks like we may have finally sort of cleared this wedge. All right, and now it should be on the move to the upside on dollar Swiss. All right, CAD Swiss, another one I like, another Swiss pair I like to head higher. Okay, we saw this bottom of the wedge hold, we broke, we flagged, very strong candle, broke out of the flag. Now we're consolidating. I like it to continue its march higher. Maybe 85.36 and then 86, all right, are the two levels to watch for resistance, this previous high, and then the top of the channel, just shy of 86. So that's CAD Swiss. Aussie Swiss, I don't like buying it. Looks like a bear flag right now, which makes sense because Euro Aussie looks like a bull flag. Euro CAD testing support, kind of breaking through support. A little bit of a head and shoulders action going on there. Pound CAD, all right, up at highs after those retail sales. It's holding at about 180 right now. 180.52 was the highs. So look, I still think this pair has the potential to continue to move higher. Would not surprise me to see some chop, all right, around here as it starts to slowly just wait and consolidate before moving higher. But I still do like Pound CAD to the upside. I actually kind of want to take a closer look at this Euro CAD. All right, so you can see the top of the wedge here, all right, that we're starting to break back within two, all right. We have this little head and shoulders type pattern up here, and we're really sitting right on this support level right now, 148.20 or so. So I think Euro CAD is worth watching. If I were you, though, I would be watching it more for an opportunity to buy rather than an opportunity to get short. But, you know, we'll see. We may see some downside here on Euro CAD going forward. E-minis look very good. All right, break above 1840 should send us to new highs. Dow futures also look very good. Break of 16,425, 450 or so should send us to new highs. NASDAQ already saw new highs. Break above 3,600 should see another set of new highs. All right, so U.S. stocks markets look pretty good here to start the week. Gold continues to rally, trying to make a new high. May have already done so. No, just sitting just short. All right, so needs to clear that level here. Pretty decent trendline support. Possible ascending triangle type trade going on here, which means 1240 is longs, and a break above 1260 should see a rally to about 1280, 1285. So gold looks pretty good. Silver looks ugly. Don't trade silver. Crude. Possible bottom there at 91.24. All right. I'm not actually sold on that. But I guess your resistance level is about 96.70. Your support level is about 93.75. I think weight of the market still very much short crude. All right, but you can see, I mean, that's the bounce we got. That's a pretty decent bounce off of a very nice break of a trend line retest. All right, this trend line is from August, so it's pretty significant. We held it pretty well. We may see at least one more new high here on crude early in the week, but I'd be very cautious about how exactly you trade it. Some of the pound crosses. Pound Aussie obviously made a new high, looks good for continuation. Pound Kiwi, all right, I was looking for a short at about 198. Fortunately, I was sleeping and hadn't set an order, so I did not get stopped out because I didn't enter a trade. So neutral on Pound Kiwi as we've sort of broken back, all right, above its resistance levels here. It looks poised for higher, but I'm not as keen on this one. All right, you can see there are the makings of some sort of ugly-ass head and shoulders going on here. So staying away from Pound Kiwi, which I think is actually generally a very good idea. That pair is a disaster. Euro Kiwi, if you're insistent on trading it, I don't think it's super clean right now. You could try to trade a break below 163 for a continuation down towards about 161. But with the euro at support and Kiwi having sold off on Friday, probably not the best setup. Euro pound. I actually like euro pound to the upside here. All right. Talked about the euro being at support. Now we have the crosspair itself at support. All right. This descending trend line. This is sloppily drawn, but all right. We're near some support connecting these 2 points as well. So right in this range down to about 82.25 or so is pretty decent support. On euro pound, maybe for a bounce up towards about 82.90 All right, before continuation down to the downside. Its counterpart, pound Swiss, all right, you can see has broken up to above new highs. We'll see if that 149 level holds on the downside. If it does, you could try to get in for some last upside here on pound Swiss. I don't exactly know what this pennant thing is doing here. All right. I think I covered most of the ones I had in mind. Requests, pairs that I missed, things that you want me to take a look at. Requests or questions, anything else you want me to look at? Aussie CAD and Aussie dollar. Alright, so Aussie dollar, I'm looking to sell at about 88.50. Other than that, I'm not touching it. I'm being very picky with my Aussie dollar entries here. I think it's heading lower. You could try to chase it here. It may work out. A lot of retail was long on Friday. I bet a lot of them got stopped out. I don't know what the new numbers are. So if we do see a rally tonight, we do have Chinese data out, 88.50 or so. Nice area to get short. Good risk-reward ratio. Other than that, I'm out of it. Aussie CAD. Two setups on Aussie CAD. First is a short after this consolidation if it builds up a little bit more. Call it a bear flag, short the break, that type of thing. Okay, this little choppy area here. The second trade is a long, and it's a long down here at about 94.70 on a retest of this broken descending trend line. I think those are the two options that you have for Aussie CAD. I'm not opposed to taking both. I'll short that flag break and I'll buy it, flip it down below 94.50 or so. So those are the two that I'm looking at for Aussie CAD, Aussie dollar, just the sell on a rally. Other requests. Anything else? Matt is typing. Yep, Matt, I will post the recording and put it out over Twitter, both my Twitter and the GlobalFxClub Twitter. Oh, sorry, not the .com. I'll give you a quick run through on the yen though. In general, all right, I don't like dollar yen. In general, I don't like Aussie yen. I think euro yen. Okay, break down new neckline below that 200. Looks good for shorts, but with this false break, it makes entries a little bit tricky. My two favorites, Kiwi yen, wedge break, very clean. Below that 100 EMA, which is the green line. All right, you can see the 5 tests I've highlighted on that. I like that to the downside, and now I actually like CAD yen to the downside here at the start of the week as well. Maybe getting into that after I wrap up the webinar. So that's my quick take on yen pairs. But yeah, I did a longer one earlier, and I will definitely be posting the recording within the next hour or so. Yep. Any other questions? All right. I'm going to wrap it up. Look for the recording within the next hour or 2 hours. I will post it. Thank you very much for joining me. Very much appreciate it. Well, I don't think we've had all bad news on the pound by any means. The last piece of news we had for the pound was actually spectacular, the retail sales. Before that, their PMI numbers were somewhat below market expectations, but they're still the strongest PMI numbers we've seen anywhere in the world. Hands down, it's not even close. So yeah, would not be surprised at all to see the pound reach 166. Certainly, so long as we're above this 163 level, I don't see that much standing in the way of it. New highs would be a breakout towards that level as well. We have their employment report this week. UK employment, I think, is out Thursday or so. All right, so that'll be a big factor as to how exactly the pound handles itself this week. But no, I mean, I don't think we've seen that much bad news out of the UK lately, and I don't think we're going to anytime soon. So that 162 level is huge. 163 is huge, and then 166 is the major upside target of all those recent highs. All right, guys. Enjoy your week. As always, if you have questions, feel free to find me on Twitter and say hi. And good luck trading. Remember, holiday on Monday, so be careful about lower volatility, lower volume. All right, thanks. Have a good day.